Good morning, good afternoon. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. I'm here to honor the great Muhammad Ali on the day that he passed away. So kick back and join me for this one.
Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy. Where you at? Yeah, Tapping in your rapping boys out here telling favors. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that Boston since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. On the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the peak. Little Glock on my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out man, Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sandals. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps. Come on, man. And with the local DBC News, he weighed in.
Once again, thank you for stopping by. Here to honor the memory of the great Muhammad Ali in 2016, June 30th. Time does fly. But I have a lot of memories to share of the greatest Muhammad Ali. Let me get my head right over here, man. Shout out everybody that came in. I appreciate it, and we're gonna speak on my memories of the greatest, and anybody else who has any memories of Muhammad Ali. In a few minutes, man, I got the link pinned up there, but wait a little bit, and then you can stop up here. We can all share our memories of the greatest. A little of this orange bud to start the day. I'm usually usually like to hit the green excuse me, the green dragon tincture, and this is why I find out when I smoke, my nose runs, I get dry throat, a little congestion. So I go with that green dragon, man, and a lot of water. Shout out to my brother Blood Boxing, Fistiana. Muhammad Ali, he was born Cassius Marcellus Clay, January 17th, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky. From what I know about Muhammad Ali, he had his bicycle stolen. When he was a kid, 12 years old. And there was a police officer, his name was Joe Martin. And he said, "What happened, kid? What happened?" He said, "Somebody stole my bicycle and I'm going to whoop him." And he said, "I think you got to learn how to fight before. You got to learn how to box before you're going to whoop anybody." Anyway, man, I regress here, man. Let me shout out everybody that came in here. Andre, my man, thank you so much for coming by. The great, the GOAT, one of my heroes growing up, Bruce. I have a drawing of him beating Patterson when I was 6 years old, and I still hold it today. Ali is more than just a boxer. He's a legend. For sure, bro. My friend Joe. He was no racist. He came to Ireland in 2009 to cut the ribbon on a large stone that had his name, that had his family tree engraved on it, all the way back to his great-grandfather, Abe O'Grady. Angel Diaz, shout out to you, man. Skywalker, peace, my brother. 86 Boxing, my man Josh, thank you for coming by. And Mr. Pads, brother, thanks for hanging in there. My man Skywalker, shout out to you, brother. Doing some windows in the mall, man. That Skywalker's a crazy man, bro. You got invited from Coach Green to help corner a fighter this afternoon. My boy Lump is huge, 6'6", 260-pound heavyweight. That's a big boy. Danger, my brother. How you doing, man? Angel Diaz, Mr. Pads. I shouted you guys out, but I shout you out again. I shout you out the second time. My brother, Flawless Mentality. Dr. Mark, how are you doing, man? Thank you for coming by. Yeah, Ali got his bicycle stolen, 12 years old. And Joey Martin, finally Ali went home and he was watching TV. He saw a program called Tomorrow's Champions featuring amateur boxers from the area and decided that's what he wanted to do. He got into some real training. And he was trained by a cut man. You probably heard of him, Chuck Bodak, professional cut man. He was Ali's trainer for his last 4 years. And he had an amazing amateur career too, man. You know, an amazing amateur career. He won the Olympic Games in 1960 in Rome. He won 2 inner city Chicago Golden Gloves, New York and Chicago. U.S. National Amateur Champion twice, all in the light heavyweight division. He went on to a pro career. His first pro fight against Tony Huckstetter, October 29th, 1960. I was down at the Legends Weekend last year, October 29th, and I mentioned it to him. I said, today's the debut of Muhammad Ali. And damn, it was like, whoa. It's kind of these little reminders I like, man. They keep you sharp and they keep these fighters honored, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was too young to follow Ali's the first part of his career. I heard little things when he beat Sonny Liston, when he changed his name. But I didn't really start to pay attention to Muhammad Ali until the comeback, really, the second comeback, when he came back against Jerry Quarry. He was in exile for 3.5 years. He was stripped by the WBA and the New York State Athletic Commission, which was, I think that was a first for moral reasons for refusing induction into the draft. And he was found guilty. He refused to step forward. He was fined. He was arrested. He was sentenced. It was out on appeal. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and Ali was out on appeal until the Supreme Court overturned the lower court's convictions, and Ali was a free man. He was granted conscientious objector status on religious grounds, and a lot of people hated Ali back then, man. A lot of people were calling him a draft dodger. You know, I came from a small New England town where a dozen or so were drafted and went to Vietnam, and several didn't come back, and a lot of them that did come back came back with addictions, and their mind wasn't right, and it was a very unpopular war. And Muhammad Ali actually became popular with a subculture for refusal to be indicted into the army at the time. And even the soldiers in Vietnam were backing Ali. It was a crazy time in this world. But anyway, like I was saying, man, he came back October 26, 1970. I was a junior in high school. And people are saying, Quarry's too much for Ali. No tune-ups. This is his first fight back. Where's my tray? I want to do a couple more hits on that Toka too. There it is, right in front of me. It must be good stuff. This is orange bud. Has the taste of citrus, orangey citrus to it. Very strong, very, very potent. I haven't done bong since I was on here the other night. I kind of been hitting on the tincture. Undercard, my brother. Shout out to you, bro. Well, you know, when I come on, I try to talk boxing from what I know, from my experiences. And today, man, special day. You know, I remember when I heard Muhammad Ali died. A1 Hoop Zone, salute, bro. You know, when I think of this, you know, I get choked up, bro. I mean, I cried tears when I heard Muhammad Ali died. I didn't cry for him. I think I cried for myself. I wasn't going to be able to see Ali anymore. The whole world wasn't going to be able to see Ali anymore. And yeah, man, came back, busted up Jerry Quarry. The fight was stopped in 3 rounds. And the word was Muhammad Ali is back. Jerry Quarry, the #1 contender. His next fight was against Oscar Bonavena. Very, very tough Argentinian heavyweight. Fought life and death with Joe Frazier, knocked Joe Frazier down. But he was back. And after that, he was rushed into a fight with Joe Frazier. Freddie Pacheco is his doctor, longtime doctor and friend, said he should have taken more tune-up fights, but Ali needed money. When Ali was in his exile, he was still supporting his entourage. He still had bills to pay. And, you know, Ali had a lot of bills to pay. A lot of people depended on Ali. You know, and when he was in that exile, he went through his entire fortune. He was out doing speaking on college campuses. He tried his career at acting. He did a Broadway play that didn't go over too well. And but he was barred throughout the world from doing what he did best. Then the Supreme Court overturned his conviction, and once again we had Muhammad Ali to a whole new generation. Well, for me anyway, because when he was stripped, I think I was about 11 or 12 years old. But then when he came back, I was 15. I was more. I woke. I had the consciousness to me. You know, I had the passion. I didn't want to go to Vietnam. I didn't think it was right. I thought Ali was the man for standing up. I mean, he could have went the Joe Louis route. He could have boxed exhibitions. He would have had an easy time, but the moral convictions, you know, he came out with so many classic lines. He had so many classic lines like, you know, my enemy is the white people, not the Viet Cong or the Chinese or the Japanese. You're my opposers. You remember that line? It's real famous. When I want freedom, you're my opposer. When I want justice, America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, and you won't even stand up for me here now? You know, and Ali, bro, he was different. He was different than anybody. And he woke up the country. The country was realizing. See, we didn't have the social media. We didn't have same day coverage. You know, today somebody gets shot on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. It would be on YouTube an hour later. But back then we relied on propaganda. We relied on a newspaper system that was pretty much run by the establishment. And Ali was he was the villain. He was the villain until people woke up, man. Old Motel Carpet. Shout out to you. Is that Pigeon out there? I know Pigeon's out there running around tonight. But I mean, you know, this is, I guess, you know, we're celebrating the life of Muhammad Ali. You know, because Ali died at 74. You know, and you know, like death is inevitable. It's right around the corner. If you're here, thank God every day that you're here. You know, I make no illusions of it, bro. You know, I'm 68, 74, dude. I've been on YouTube longer than that. You know what I'm saying, man? But Ali left a legacy. And I'm gonna get back to the fights that I followed with Ali, because I'm following the Oscar Bonavena fight. Oscar Bonavena gave Ali no respect. He would call him Clay. He had a rubber chicken. I mean, it was very, very personal. Oscar Bonavena had never been knocked down. He was a tough Argentinian. Ali had a life and death go with him in the 15th round. This wasn't even a title fight, but it was scheduled for 15 rounds. So Ali stopped Bonavena. Bonavena was humbled after that, said Ali was the greatest. And after that, it was the fight of the century. You know, the main fight, the fight with Joe Frazier, the fight of the century. This is the one everybody's waiting for. Two undefeated heavyweights. Duh, could this happen? Could this happen today? I mean, we have Fury and we have Usyk, but they don't fill the shoes of Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. Joe Frazier, while Ali was in exile, cleaned up the heavyweight division. He won a tournament. He beat Jimmy Ellis in the final. He was recognized by the WBA as the WBA and the New York State Athletic Commission. Jimmy Young had the WBA title. The New York State Athletic Commission, which later became, I don't know how the merge actually worked out, but we don't speak New York State Athletic Commission, but the WBC came into prominence. There we go. That was a mouthful. And Joe Frazier was the undisputed heavyweight champ of the world. Muhammad Ali was the people's champ. And he came back, Madison Square Garden, February 8th, 1971. I remember that one like it was yesterday. You know, I was too young to go to the closed circuit. That was on a school night. It was on a Monday night. Biggest fight of the fucking world on a Monday night, not on a Saturday night. And I was listening to it on the radio broadcast. It wasn't broadcast live on the radio, but what they had was they had the disc jockey on the radio, the top 40. We used to listen to top 40. That's how we got our music back then. They stopped between rounds and they read what the UPS and Associated Press, they would send them the round by round briefings, and they'd read them off the teletype machine. They'd tell you Joe Frazier coming out weaving and bobbing for the first, hurt Ali to the body. Ali's saying no. He's mocking him. He's throwing a jab. I mean, they'd read him like that. And I sat in front of that radio, man, and I listened to it, and I can tell from the UPS reports that Muhammad Ali is not dominating Joe Frazier. I thought Ali was going to go out there and box the ears off Joe Frazier, but Joe Frazier, tough kid out of South Carolina, out of Philadelphia. I mean, he was a Rocky. He trained in freaking slaughterhouses. He had a left hook that would knock walls down. And Ali tasted that left hook to the head and to the body. Finally, in the 5th round, Ali got knocked down, kind of cemented the decision, the unanimous decision for Joe Frazier. And everybody thought that would be the end of Ali, but he said, no, you're so wrong. His jaw's out like a freaking grapefruit. And he is, how wrong you are. So Muhammad Ali came back from that, man. He came back and he started at the bottom. He didn't go right for a rematch with Joe Frazier. He took on his old sparring partner friend for the North American Boxing Federation for the vacant heavyweight title. He knocked out Jimmy Ellis in the 12th round. Took on Buster Mathis, man. I talked to Buster Mathis Jr. Great guy. Put on a great live show with me. If you want to go check it out in my Tuesday night lives. But he beat Buster Mathis Jr., Buster Mathis Sr., who was an outstanding Olympian, decorated Olympian, a great pro. Just had the hey, Yankee Kyle, my brother, how you doing, man? Thank you for coming by, bro. We're getting there, bro. We're getting there, man. We're going. I'm bringing up the era that I knew, and I'm gonna lead right to that fight because Ken Norton. That was another a stopper in Ali's great career, man. And he had some great wars with Ken Norton, bro. But after Buster Mathis, he fought George Chuvalo. He went to Vancouver. British Columbia. He beat George Chuvalo, an amazingly tough fighter, never off his feet in over 100 fights. I mean, this was George Chuvalo was the epitome of toughness, but Ali was just the great boxer. Boxed his ears off, unanimous decision. Took on Jerry Quarry again, and he's defending his North American Heavyweight Championship. North American belt back then was a big title. It was a precursor to your world titles. There were no interms, there was no gold belt, no silver belt. You had your regional belt, your North American, and then you had your World Heavyweight Championship. Ali was holding on to that North American championship, man. Took on Floyd Patterson. Stopped Floyd Patterson on cuts. Took on the light heavyweight champion, Bob Foster. Bob Foster, tremendous puncher. Had the left hook, right hand, man. I mean, I thought he killed Mike Quarry. I saw him fight Mike Quarry in a co-main event. It was on an Ali undercard when Ali fought Jerry Quarry. But Bob Foster ruled the light heavyweight division. When he stepped up to the heavyweights, not so good, not so good. Ali knocked him down 4 times in the fight. The fight was stopped in the 8th round. He had similar luck with Joe Frazier and Eddie Nachin and other heavyweights that he tried to venture up there with. And Ali took on the tough Joe Bugner, beat him. Then there was that fateful night in 1973, man. March 31st. I remember that fight well, man. I was my dad was sick. We were at the house, and my dad was not an Ali fan. I mean, there's a story that goes back to that one, man. My dad went to see the rematch with Sonny Liston up in Maine. He was in the bathroom. They drove up there. He was full of beer. He says, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to take a piss and get you guys some things. I'll be right back. He came back. The fight was over. Sonny Liston had been knocked out by Muhammad Ali in 1 round. And anyway, my dad didn't like Ali after that. He thought he got ripped off. He wanted his money back, the whole 9 yards. Ali made a stand on that. You know, we spoke of that earlier. You know, he was not gonna bend on his religious beliefs. The Quran says you only fight religious wars that are that you're told to fight by the Prophet or by Elijah Muhammad, and Vietnam was not one of them. And Ali was sticking to his guns. There were quite a few conscientious objectors back then, but none quite as thorough as Muhammad Ali. But yeah, man, that he fought Ken Norton again. He's getting ready for a rematch with Joe Frazier. And Joe Frazier, in the meantime, he gets knocked out by some cat named George Foreman. Now, Ali was going for his rematch with Joe Frazier, and he runs into Ken Norton. He gets his jaw broken. He loses a split decision, a 12-round split decision. And once again, we thought that was it. That was going to be the end of Muhammad Ali, but no. He said, no. This is only the beginning. Broke his jaw. Ali said he broke it in the 2nd round. Norton said it was in the 11th round. Freddie Pacheco said it was in the 2nd round. He said Ali's jaw he could move that mandible like it didn't even have a bone in there. And Ali went through. He fought the 12-round decision. And they came on the short end of the decision, but Ken Norton got the North American Heavyweight Championship. He went on to fight George Foreman in Caracas, Venezuela. Norton got his head taken off in the 2nd round. Just amazing with this kid George Foreman coming out of nowhere. This is something else, man. You know, we were looking at Ken Norton. We're looking at Joe Frazier, and all of a sudden, this big kid out of Texas, George Foreman, he's got the belt and he's knocking everybody out, and nobody wants to get in the ring with this kid. But Ali says, I'm going to get in the ring with him. He gets his rematch with Joe Frazier. He goes to a relatively smooth, unanimous 12-round decision. Then he goes to Kinshasa, Zaire, Africa for the fucking Rumble in the Jungle. And nobody gave Ali a chance in this one, man. I didn't give him a chance. I even placed a bet against him. You know, some dude wanted to bet some dude wanted to bet Ali, and I didn't think he had a chance, man. You know, I gave up on the faith of Ali. I just didn't think he'd have a chance against this fucking destroyer, this guy who took out Ken Norton, who took out George Foreman, who took out Joe Frazier, you know, amongst others, was taking out everybody. But man, Ali proved me wrong. And you know, you want to check out a great fight and a great night, man. Go check out the Rumble in the Jungle. Muhammad Ali made believers of us all. Knocked out the invincible George Foreman. No, George was never the same. George, great story on George, man. Definitely check that out. That new movie, it's really cool, bro. I watched it, and definitely worth spending 2 hours of your time. But anyway, Ali's got the World Heavyweight Championship now. He comes back, he fights Chuck Wepner. Chuck Wepner is credited with knocking Ali down. Chuck Wepner, their feet got caught, a push kind of a thing, and Ali went down. It was considered a knockdown, and Chuck Wepner's walking back to his corner. He's got a smile on his face, and his cornerman says, "You better take that smile off your face, because he just got up and he looks like he wants to whoop your ass." And that's kind of what he did, man. Ali went back and he just picked the Bayonne bleeder apart. Chuck Wepner was stopped in 15th round TKO. His face looked like raw hamburger. Ali went on to take on Ron Lyle, another tough guy, knocked out a prime Ron Lyle in the 11th round. Took on Joe Bugner again for a defense of the title, a unanimous decision. He went to Kuala Lumpur. Ali was a true world champion. No, he didn't rely on the backyard. He didn't stay in Madison Square Garden or Las Vegas. He went all over the world, man. He went to fucking Africa. He went to Kuala Lumpur, and then he took on Joe Frazier. This was the fucking Thriller in Manila. I talked to my brother Leon Mohammed, who was there. He told me it was 100 and fucking. He just said it was hot. He had to change his shirt. He said it was so hot in there. Ali said it was the closest thing to death. And Ali, he survived where Joe Frazier, Eddie Futch stopped the fight. Joe Frazier was just getting such a beating that he stopped the fight. We get a little water here, man. I'm doing a lot of talking, so excuse me if I'm being long-winded. But when it comes to Muhammad Ali, Ali had he's got a lot of great quotes. That's one of my favorites. I'm running low on my bottle of Green Dragon tincture here. Do I even have enough for another? Yeah, I got enough for one more little blast. I'm gonna have to be quiet for 30 seconds, so please don't think my microphone clammed up on me. There were some other Ali quotes that I really like. Let me see. Let me find the Ali quote page and do another hit on this Toka 2, because I kind of use this as my excuse to hit the Toka 2. The Green Dragon is perfect for me. Like me and the Skywalker, we were talking about that last night. Because, you know, variation is the key to life. And I like to vary on everything. I like to vary on my boxing. I like to do boxing history. I like to do current boxing. I like to do future boxing. I like to do the real. I mean, this is not boxing history to me. This is memory shit. This is just sitting down talking to the G's about what I remember about the great Muhammad Ali. I listen to Scrapbook Boxing. I listen to the Boxing Librarian. That's history shit. Josh, 86 Boxing. He's a historian. These are the guys who opened my eyes. Last night, Scrapbook put out this great video on Thomas Hearns, and you know this is the era I grew up in, and I listened to that, and it wasn't like a learning experience to me, but it was a great refreshing experience. And it was almost like I said, it was like talking to Scrapbook, which I'd love to do sometime. But you know, I don't consider myself a historian. I don't consider these Antonio MMA, my brother. Salute, bro. You know, I don't consider myself a historian. I consider myself just a guy with a good memory. I get buried in a debate if you want to talk about Joe Gans and, you know, getting back into that stuff. C. Wood, brother. Salute, man. We're here to pay honor to Muhammad Ali. Rice and peas. L-Dub. A true boxing mind out there, man. He's got the information. He explains things to me so even I can understand them. Explains the rankings. Fighters that I'm looking forward to seeing. He's already seen 4 or 5 times, man. Shout out to my brother L-Dub. Go sub to him go sub to L-Dub if you haven't yet, man. You know, you're doing yourself a disfavor not to. Hey, Maurice, bro. You know, I like putting these on noontime too, because I get a lot of people that you know, from overseas, and sometimes I put my evening ones on. They're too late. So this way I just kind of, you know, when the spirit moves me. But see, Ali has some great quotes. Friendship is the hardest thing in the world to explain. It's not something you learn in school. But if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you haven't learned anything. Let's find some of the ones. Ali, he says, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as champion. Ali had this one, man. He said, I'm a fighter. I believe in an eye for an eye business. I'm no cheek turner. I got no respect for a man who won't hit back. You kill my dog, you better hide your cat. He said, often it's the mountains ahead of you that wear you out. It isn't the mountains ahead of you that wear you out. It's the little pebbles in your shoe. Ali was a philosopher too. He said the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. I better wake up and put a hit in my fucking toka too. Closing in a little past 12:30. My clock up there, the battery must be running down in it. I got an old wall clock on my wall that takes one triple E battery. And I'm looking at my screen and it says it's 12:34. This one doesn't even say it's 12:30 yet, so time to change the battery. Then we're going to get back to Ali's career. April 30th, 1976, I was graduating my broadcasting school, Graham Junior College at the time. I was listening to the Muhammad Ali and Jimmy Young fight in Landover, Maryland. Jimmy Young was giving Ali all kind of problems. Ali is in the latter stages of his career. You could see his skills are declining. But Jimmy Young, an amazingly defensive fighter, didn't have much in the way of offense. I thought he beat Ali. Ali won a unanimous decision. Jimmy Young just didn't have the offensive mind to go after Ali when he could have. But Ali squeaked by that one. He had his rematch. He had his third fight with Ken Norton. This is the one in Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, man. I think Yankee Kyle was talking about that one earlier. I thought Ken Norton beat Ali in the fight. Ken Norton couldn't miss Ali with that right hand. It was a great fight, and it was in a jam-packed Yankee Stadium on a hot summer night. Ali won a decision. Norton never got over that one. He went on and took on the Spanish champion, Alfredo Evangelista, who also took on Larry Holmes. You know, they wanted the best out of Europe at the time. Ali was fighting constantly on network television, in prime time, and on Wide World of Sports and in the afternoon shows. He took on Alfredo Evangelista. Then he took on, Ali said it was one of the strongest, toughest opponents, man, and everybody knows him, man, the Doc Destroyer, Ernie Shavers. And I remember this fight like it was yesterday. Ernie was nailing Ali, and Ali was being the clown in the ring. He didn't hit me. Ali would feign being hurt when he really was hurt. He exaggerated like a wrestler. And that was the thing, man. Ali got his style from Gorgeous George, so he was into boisterous in the ring, doing things that no boxers did. He grabbed the microphone. You know, you watched pro wrestling behind the mic. That's where Muhammad Ali got his shtick, man. And he used it. He used it against Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers didn't know if he had hurt Ali or didn't hurt Ali. Ali said if he had followed up on me, bro, he would have knocked me out. Ali squeaked by that one with a unanimous decision. After that was the first match with Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks only had 7 pro fights. He had won 6, and he had a draw with Scott Ledoux. And he came from the 76 Olympics. He was a light heavyweight titleist in the Olympics. And out of the blue, you know, people weren't really even paying attention to it. But this was a fight. It was on live, prime time, CBS during a week. I think it was on a Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken. But just to see Leon fought his best fight. Leon was a tough kid out of the Marines, strong, wouldn't be denied. Ali wasn't ready for him. And it was a split decision. Ali tried to pull it out, but Leon Spinks never slowed down. Leon Spinks had that clicking and ticking, and Leon went on to win a split decision. And right after that, Leon was stripped of the WBC belt for not defending against Ken Norton. He had the rematch with Muhammad Ali. This was at the Superdome in New Orleans. I remember Mike Rossman and I can see it. I can see him in my head from Argentina. Victor Galindez. He won his title back from Mike Rossman. Mike Rossman quit on the stool. And I can't remember the other undercard fight, but Ali came back. He won a unanimous decision. It was still a close fight, but Leon didn't train for that fight. Which one had the closest style to Ali? Tyrell Biggs, Larry Donnell, or Greg Page? I'm going to say Greg Page. Greg Page out of Louisville grew up. Ali was his mentor. Ali was his who he followed. I mean, Ali he ruined all those boxers. L-Dub. Ali ruined a generation. They all tried to be like Muhammad Ali, and there was only one Ali, and they all fell short, bro. You know, shit, man. We can start naming names over here, but Ali destroyed a whole generation. And like I was saying earlier, man, the WBC stripped the title from Leon Spinks because he wouldn't fight against Norton, and that was the WBC awarded Norton the belt on virtue of his 15-round split decision over Jimmy Young. And then Ken Norton lost it in his first defense against Larry Holmes. Tremendous. I mean, dude. Today, we're seeing garbage in the heavyweight division. This was cream de la cream, free, almost all free. And I mean, it was like just, it was too sweet. It was too sweet. You know, after that, Ali should have retired. It was a sad time. You know, there were all kind of fights being proposed. He was going to fight Mike Weaver. They wanted to have him fight John Tate before Tate got beat. They wanted Ali to go to South Africa to fight Coetzee or Kanotsi. There was a huge market down there. There were stadiums filling up with 100,000 people watching boxing down there, and they wanted Ali. Ali wouldn't do it. They wanted him to fight Mike Rossman, a Jew against a Muslim. He wouldn't do it. Finally, he fought undefeated at his prime, Larry Holmes. It was sad. It was a sad night. I watched the fight. Very true, L-Dub. Very true. But Ken Norton, though, he was an email champ, but he was deserving of that title. They should have had him fight a rematch with Jimmy Young. I think that would have been fit. Those were the two top contenders at the time, available top contenders. But anyway, man, it was that sad night. It was on a weeknight too. I wasn't sad. I had faith in Ali. Once again, I'm on the Ali bandwagon, man. Me and the G's, we had our suits and ties on. We got dressed up. We went out to dinner. I think the night we went to a steakhouse up in Providence, man, where hibachi place where the fucking guys throw the meat cleavers up and they throw the salt and pepper shakers and clacking them together. And it's a show right there, doing the shrimp and the lobster and the steak. And anyway, man, I'm saying that's how Ali's hands are going to move tonight. We went down to the Providence Civic Center. They had the fight on a closed circuit screen, and they had live boxing there too. They had some local legends fighting. I think Sucre Oliveira might have been in the live events at the time. I can't really remember, but they showed the Ali card, Ali Holmes card, and it was sad, man. It was sad. Ali got beat up. I've talked to people who are behind the scenes with him. I learned about the thyroid medication, how the fight was going to be stopped the night before, of these little meetings with Angelo Dundee and Freddie Pacheco and Holmes. And I mean, bro, this was a sad night. I walked out of the Civic Center. There must have been 10,000 people there. You could have heard a pin drop. You could hear sniffles. It was sad. The proverbial rat pissing on cotton. And it was, for all intents and purposes, it was the end of Muhammad Ali's boxing career. He didn't give up. He was back in the ring a year later. Sad fight, man. Sad way to go out. He fought Trevor Berbick. He was down in Nassau in the Bahamas. They had a cowbell at ringside. There was no ding. It was a dong dong. It was a sad affair. Greg Page and Scott Ledoux were on the card. It was in a tent in a cornfield. It was a sad way to see the great warrior Muhammad Ali end his career. Very, very sad. Very, very sad to see. But it was a great ride. It was just fantastic seeing Muhammad Ali, and on the day of his death, it's a hard pill to swallow. It has been since the night that it happened. But we're all going in that direction, and you live life as great as you can here, man. To quote Ali, the service you do for others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. To be a great champion, you must believe you are the best. If you're not, pretend you are. The man with no imagination has no wings. And the man who views the world the same 50 years the same as he did when he was in his 20s has wasted 30 years of his life. Shout out to Muhammad Ali. Truly the greatest. Truly the greatest. This is Bruce Gass, Boxing, Jazz, and More. think I'm going to go on, move on, maybe get something to eat. It was a beautiful day down here earlier. All of a sudden, yesterday was like almost 80 degrees. Today it's 75. The sun came out for about 10 minutes about 2 hours ago. Looks like it's going to rain. I may take a little walk with the dog. Who knows, man? Who knows? Clarissa Shields tonight. I'm not big on women's boxing, but I am big on boxing, so I'll probably watch that card. Maybe watch some Ali fights this afternoon. Who knows, man? But in the meantime, leave you once again with my buddy 151. My theme song over here.
Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a trap for my boy. Hey, where you at? Yeah, trapping in your wrestling boys out here telling favors. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that Boston since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the peak. With little Glock by my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out man, Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sandwich. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
My man 150. Peace. One love.